By the time someone has gone from heroin to speedballs, methadone, and prescription drugs, the magic is over. The fantasy now is what other people might call a routine day. Maybe waking up, drinking a cup of coffee, and not thinking about getting high.
And then there's the concept of powerlessness, which changed for me over time.
I want to try something. Now, just relax and clear your mind of any thoughts.
What does that mean?
Close your eyes and imagine you're floating on a river. Let the water take you wherever it wants to. Just relax and go with the flow.
Hey, butthead. I can feel it.
Yeah, me too. And the water's warm.
Well, how about, so before you moved here, was there good transportation in the town you lived in?
Yes, I live in Crescent City, so yeah.
Crescent City?
Crescent City, yeah.
Wow.
There's a really good, it's mainly because I live just like across the bus stop, so that was great.
It's really small there, huh?
Yeah, it's really small actually. You can walk around the town like within like maybe less than a day. You can walk all around the city.
Have you ever been on fast trains in big cities and stuff?
Yeah, I went to like subway, but that's not in US, but it was in China.
Everybody can play the bongo, sometimes unfortunately.
At Tip Top, is there touching involved, or is there security guards?
Cool. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I love that club, because there's no touching allowed and they're strict about it. So not only will they reprimand or kick out a customer that touches, but there's also video cameras in the dancing rooms. So they actually monitor that, and if anyone touches a girl or anything, then they come in and they break it up. And
when describing treatment guidelines for children, someone younger than 1 year of age is referred to as an infant. Someone 1 to 8 years old is referred to as a child.
Low rent Jack Shack, I guess you could call it.
That's probably more entertaining than my classic strip club stories.
So no, we got out there and somebody brought a
later, man. You too.
Somebody brought a sump pump and we sumped all the water out, and we got in there with shovels and just shoveled all the dirt out and cleaned. We've been over the past probably 2 months. We've been sweeping it out and keeping all the glass out. And
yeah, and you've been playing there?
We've been playing there about twice a week.
Nice. A little bit of graffiti back there, I noticed.
There's a lot of graffiti, and which is a stark contrast to our previous court, which was a tennis court, which is a little bit more upper crusty. You know, like we don't have to deal with that part of society anymore. You know, we just have to deal with the bums, which are they're usually pretty. They keep a small presence around us.
It's some of the best and some of the worst people that are out there are in that scene, I know.
So we're a group of usually, it takes 6 people to play the game, so we're usually about at least 6 of us to 10 maybe, and we're all wearing armor, like we're dressed up like we're playing a contact sport. So some people have face masks, and everybody wears a helmet and gloves, and some people have knee and shin pads. And
so how can people get a hold of you if they want to get in on this? They just show up to behind the mall and hang out, or
there is a Facebook page, Humboldt Hardcourt Facebook, or Humboldt Hardcourt Bike Polo.
That's Humboldt Hardcourt Bike Polo.
Hardcourt, yep.
And that's facebook.com/Humboldt, or search it.
If you just go to Facebook and search for Humboldt Hardcourt Bike Polo.
Okay.
Also, there's flyers all around town, and they actually have his phone number on them. So you might give him a jing. You might talk to him for a second. And I was just actually talking to him about. I'm a massage therapist, so I was talking to him about ways that I can help him improve his game.
What situations do you think I can get into that you can't?
Well, I don't know, but you could definitely, being in school still, right?
Yeah.
I don't go to CR at all this semester. I'm not until next fall. So.
No, I'm not going during the summer either.
Yeah. Right, it's summer. Okay.
I'm not gonna be there till the fall.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. You mentioned going to the Bayshore Mall to get some interviews. Would you be interviewing workers, or maybe you could ask for the manager of Walmart and interview why they didn't hire me one time when I applied there?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd have to interview all of the stores and ask them why they didn't hire me too.
Oh, really? Did you try Ross and Walmart?
I didn't. I'm not gonna work at Walmart. That's where I draw the line. I won't work at Walmart, and I won't work at McDonald's or Carl's Jr. or any of those.
Really? They seem so horrible. It sounds like fun for me to just work there, like McDonald's.
It's a principle thing. I know all corporations are bad, but those are just the nastiest ones, in my opinion. And I won't be a part of it. I hate, I've eaten at McDonald's a few handfuls of times, but I don't like it. I don't like the actual food isn't horrible always, but just the principle of the fact that
the meat is. I hate the killing of animals. That's my only downside.
Yeah.
I like the idea for a big restaurant franchise. That must have made it easier for that guy who invented that.
Yeah. I hate factory farms.
Yeah.
They're lame. The principle of killing animals, though, is different to me because I feel like everything sort of is just the circle of life. But the way that they farm animals for big companies like McDonald's and whatnot is completely outside of nature, and they don't even treat them like animals. They don't even treat them like they're alive. They just kind of produce them and then kill them, and they're always sick, and they're they never see sunlight, and it's just depressing. And it can't be healthy. But
can you tell me your philosophy on sociology as it relates to our society?
Herein lies my dilemma, because when I was 16, I decided I wanted to be a social worker, and then I took some classes and I learned more about the system and what being a social worker actually is. And I feel like sociology is an interesting thing in that it exists, and it's kind of a cool thing to learn about because it helps a person to gain a certain appreciation for aspects of society that aren't really blatantly shown. You have to look for them.
Like what?
For example, after I took my first sociology class, I couldn't watch a TV show or a commercial without analyzing the sociological effects and intentions of whatever it was that they were trying to promote. And the social norms and standards and things that were being perpetuated. And I don't know, I couldn't watch a single commercial without picking it apart and bitching about all of the bullshit social constructs that are I don't know. And I was kind of stuck on that for about a year, but then I guess I just gained some outside perspective on it and sort of thought I don't want to change. I don't want to be a part of the system. I don't that sounds so cliche, but I don't want to change society from the inside. I don't feel like I have the
power.
Honestly, more the arrogance to act like I know what's right. And I feel if anything is actually gonna change, in a good way, then it has to be completely revolutionary, and it's not gonna be structured, and it's not gonna be like anything else that has ever happened before. Like, it has to be something new entirely. And I'm just not sure what that is. I'm not sure what...
The internet?
What? Well, the internet's just a bunch of vines and cat videos and people bitching about... No, like, I've been thinking about... This morning, actually, I was thinking about Facebook. And because I like go on Facebook a lot and just like scroll through shit, and I was thinking like most of the posts on Facebook are either people bitching about their lives, like little mundane things that don't actually matter, or people bitching about the way that other people live their lives, or people trying to give like some awesome advice on how other people should live their lives.
With just like a post of somebody else's writing usually?
Yeah, and it's always like, oh, Benjamin Franklin says you need to live your dreams and like, don't be a negative person and like, don't do this and don't do that and you should be like this and you should do this and that. And
you could do with less of that stuff?
What?
You could do with less of those kind of posts?
Well, that's like... I was thinking about it, and that's just kind of like what it is. That's just kind of like what Facebook is. And it's kind of interesting to like see different people's perspectives and stuff on it, but at the same time, it's kind of like people spend so much time bitching about the way things are and like trying to get other people to think a certain way or to act a certain way, and it's like if we could all just like live our lives and not be concerned about what other people do, then there wouldn't be problems like homophobia and like just like people dictating
greed.
Other people's actions.
Greedy just for the sake of like keeping up with your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Like just stupid competition that's meaningless, and just like everybody has to be a certain way, or I have to be better than everybody, and like why don't you just worry about what you're doing and just do what makes you happy and mind your own business, basically. Like
I agree.
Like, if everybody just minded their own business and did what they want, then I feel like the world would be a better place for that. And that's kind of another reason why I don't really want to be a sociologist, because it's like, I don't want to dictate the way that other people live their lives. Like, I just want everybody to be happy and be able to do what they want.
Now, I remember that with the psychology class, I was also kind of, I loved it, you know? And do you remember anything that was cool from what you've learned there?
My psychology teacher was really cool. I'm actually taking another class with her in the fall because I need to for my degree. And
slight pause. She's posting something on Facebook.
Life advice on Facebook. But man, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the fucking psychology teacher. One thing I thought was really interesting about psychology was just perspective. Like, I think that just hearing people's theories is really interesting, and psychology is a lot of like people trying to figure out how people work. Like on the inside, and I think that's really interesting. I don't want to be a psychologist, but I think psychology is really interesting because it's just a perfect example of like the human condition. Like, we're just constantly trying to figure ourselves out, and we don't really know anything, but we're constantly like trying to act like we know something. So we profess these theories and we come up with ideas so that we can try to understand life and try to understand each other and why we do things. Like, people have come up with all sorts of interesting theories about why people act certain ways, and they've been proven wrong, and then other theories have been proven right, but then eventually they'll be proven wrong again. And
what's one that's been proven wrong of note?
I was actually talking about this yesterday. The history of the hysterectomy. The word hysterectomy comes from the word hysterical, which has some sort of language root with the uterus. And they, before Freud, they thought that like when women had like some kind of depression or psychological issue, then it must have something to do with their uterus.
Careful, this guy might not see us. Oh, okay, we're safe. We've got a giant pickup passing us. This is Eureka Live. Okay, put on your dancing shoes. The last track is called Eastern Cumbia by DonPéké from France.